Oh, and we made it in.
I'm in.
Ooh, okay, we're good.
And speaking of good light, we are here on Death Aura. LE, of course, we're here in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner map. The good Blues player coming down from the land of Korea, land of 1,000 ping. He is representing a freak of freaks. Light, are you free?
Down under.
He is Armani.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have, oh my, hopefully we get some translations. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing team Raise Your Edge Gaming, RYEG. It is Zest.
I feel like the semicolons are all we need.
Feels bad. Maybe it was Zest who was lagging or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
it's possible. Yeah. If you're in the chat and if you happen to know some Korean, then let us know. You know, help us translate.
Or call up Inu and ask him to translate.
As unfortunately we don't have Maddox here. It's been a while since I've seen Maddox as well.
That it has, actually. But I imagine he is also, you know, preparing for the main event coming up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
May not be a player, but, you know, he is probably going to be, you know, doing some Korean stuff with Crank.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like, I saw Maddox was helping out with the Lima League as well. I was like, oh my, like, that's pretty cool.
That's a step up.
Yeah, definitely. As Maddox is becoming more of a staple in the Korean scene, you know, running his own events, casting as well. It's really cool to see him flourish. And as you were saying, you know, we are heading towards that final DreamHack event. No more EPT points are being awarded because I believe the standings are set, and yeah, we're going to be getting into IM Katowice quite shortly, like in the next month.
All right, it is starting earlier this time.
I don't know if it is. Is it starting in February?
It's yeah, it's February if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Not the start of February, obviously, but yeah, it's not the end of March like it was a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yeah, that's what we're all going to be getting ready for, and we'll see what kind of shape these players are going to be looking like heading into it.
And this is kind of like a glimpse, isn't it, Light, of, you know, how we're going to get to see what they may or may not be planning for the big Katowice. Zest, of course, just going with the tried and true method. What he likes to do, Stargate first.
I was about to say, so we saw a lot of Zest's PvZ a couple weeks ago. We saw a lot of it. I'm curious if he's changed his ways, if he's refined a little bit, or if he's just continuing to play the style that he's been known for recently, just going to like fast sky toss.
Well, if we're looking at the broad strokes, Zest is doing Zest things. But I guess it will be the little details, isn't it, for Zest? It will be things like, you know, timings and, you know, when he decides to get certain units out. That really does make all the difference for him. Mm-hmm. He is really much known as the refinement guy.
Yeah, he's the guy who, like, all right, I'm going to find this one thing and I'm just going to do nothing but that, right? And just continues to optimize.
Over and over and over again.
Exactly.
Sometimes it works.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, it was this time last year, you know, when he came out with the Glaive Adepts, right? And he did wonders with it, and we could be seeing the same thing here with the double Stargate.
That is definitely a possibility. Now, the double Stargate play is, I will say that the double Stargate plays have been, you know, there's a lot more notoriety on it, right? It's a lot more well-known going into Katowice this time as opposed to the Adept Printer, which was, you know, much more, I feel like that was much more on the fringe of Protoss builds, right? People who were really into it, like Harstem and Mana knew about it. but a lot of other people's not so much.
It wasn't mainstream, I guess is probably the best way to put it, you know?
Exactly.
Last year Zest was like the hipster on the block, you know, like with the Glaven Eps, but now he's basic,
You
right?
know it's Zest. Yeah.
Like the problem is like everyone's doing this, you know, like you see this all over the place now.
Yeah, to the point where I actually saw Solar tweet out earlier today something like this double Stargate Void Ray style that Zest is doing completely broken for Zerg.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
Okay, not in quite that tone. Not in quite that tone, but yeah, it was something along those lines.
And now I want them to face in the finals.
It really should.
Oh my god.
But of course, there is another Zerg player that's in Zest's way that we haven't really been talking too much about, and I feel like we really should. Armani going for such a quick infestation pit.
Oh my god. Okay, so I was a little bit distracted by Zest. So Zest is doing Zest things. We've seen him do this on Romanticide, right? You wall off. He's attempting to use his SimCity to defend with the minimal amount of units as possible. Meanwhile, as you said, Armani, I love this. He's playing a little bit like Rogue right now. We have the Spire and the Infestation Pit on the way.
He knows that Zest is walling himself in. He's not even bothering with any of his Ling Worm buys. It didn't work the first time. He's not going to try again. It's going to be as greedy as he possibly can.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if anyone was watching ESL Pro Tour, sorry, ESL Weeklies for the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of Solar. We've seen a lot of players, specifically Solar, go for like Hydra timing attacks, right? They see that their opponent is going for this, and then they try to end the game early. And I think this is really smart from Armani. He sees the defensive position. He's like, I'm not going to break this with Hydras. Like, I'm going to go all the way into that late game.
That he is trying to do, but I'm getting a little concerned for Armani here, Light. Zest, I think he has picked up learned a thing or two when he was last beaten by Rogue with this style. That's a lot of gateways that he's thrown down, and Charge has finished up. This might not even be a turtle into late game style coming up from Zest. He is just going straight swarm toss with Void Ray support.
This is terrifying because, again, with all these gateways, he's going to have so many charges, a big, massive charger Archon push, and Armani's getting ready for the anti-air. Like, he's investing into Corruptors.
Corruptors.
Yeah.
He does have a couple of roaches on the way, but that's not what you want against Zealots.
Not at all. Like, you need, like...
absolutely not what you want against Void Rays.
Yeah, you need, like, Bailey's to help deal with the Zealots, and then the rest of the army to get on top of the Archons, but now, oh god, the Corruptors, they commit.
They commit and they get melted down by the prismic alignment here, Light. Zest, he has learned a thing or two. He has completely bamboozled Armani.
Wow, yeah, and Armani, the warping finished, so even if the warpism goes down, there are Zealots all over the place. They're getting on top of everything, and the army is just going down for Armani.
Zealots are pinning down the Queens. Archons are pulling the death blow. I do not see a scenario where Armani fights back here, Light.
Right? Like, the Zealots are getting into the mineral lines, all the roaches are getting surrounded, the Void Rays are reigning supreme in the sky, all the Corruptors are dead, and as you said, he got that GG!
Zest! Very, very precise, super smart move. He led Armani on.
He led me on, mate. Like, I have the biggest smile on my face right now. I love this. We were talking about how Zest, like, he keeps doing this thing over and over again. We got people like Solar complaining about it, right? Like this Zest turtle style. And it looked like it, right? Like with the initial double Stargate, with the wall at the third base, right? He was denying all the vision, all the scouting, when really he was getting ready for a big charge that Archon all in.
Man. That's really what it is.
Hey, I feel bad for
Armani. If only
Armani.
just a single overseer or something could have gone in there.
Yeah.
That would have completely changed the tides. But as you said, those Void Rays, so vigilant. And not only that, but Zest really sold the idea that he was turtling up. He completely walled off his third base.
Yeah, exactly. Like, again, I feel bad for Armani because, like, I'm sure he was getting ready for regular Zest things, right? Like, that's why he was going for the infestation pit. That's why he was looking to get into a faster hive. Yeah.
He was gonna say, Rogue, I've learned from you, senpai. I know what to do against Zest. But Zest said, do you now?
Oh, God.
Well, I just got kicked from the lobby.
So did I.
Whoa, okay.
Okay, everyone did. Everyone.
Something weird happened. Okay.
Everyone's.
I worried for a second. I heard the countdown beeps go down after it hit 0, and I thought, no.
Thankfully, everyone was spamming question marks.
Yeah. Surprise lag. So it really was.
I'm worried. I'm worried that
lag.
the Blizzard servers are collapsing on like under our feet as we speak. Like
they bugged the lobbies on NA. They bugged it on EU. Asia completely unaffected. I'm getting it again. It's counting down. It's beeping. It's 0.
Same.
It's beeping.
Yeah, we'll see. Yep, everyone's. Oh god, no! We thought we were safe. We thought Asia was safe from the lobby bugs. What is happening?
Okay, Zest is making a lobby this time instead of Armani. So hopefully that will, hopefully it is a local issue. I would hate if it's any of us here who have that issue.
Okay. For those at home wondering, because we're being a little bit vague, so like the countdown is reaching 0 and then the lobby is like crashing on us and everyone is getting, everyone is getting kicked out of the lobby.
It worked!
Okay.
You were silent for a second. I was worried there.
I was
all right. Exclamation mark Kunara Armani. Seems like that was the issue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, thankfully we're good. We're good. We're getting into the game. We're safe. Everyone is here. Hopefully, everyone. Fingers crossed that we're able to load in.
Yeah, I'm seeing the loading bar finish up here, light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now watch this countdown be the bug. It stopped for half a second. I got legitimately freaked out. But we are in fact here. We are starting things off on Lightshade LE. We're starting here in the top left-hand corner map. Spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the blue Protoss player coming out from Atlanta, Korea. He is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming. RYH. He is the player who will bamboozle everybody, and I guess I'll go into this when we finish this intro. He is best. He is Zest.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Team Afrika Freaks. It is Armani.
And you know, we mentioned in the last game, like, that Zest, he is known as a Protoss player who will always refine his style. But I feel like in these past couple of weeks, you can legitimately see the progress that he's making when it comes to this specific build. He first started out with Rogue, right? Except Rogue figured out how to beat that by just being as greedy as possible. The week after that, right, Zest just walled off, hit a timing attack, and made sure that Rogue couldn't really do anything about that. The week after that, I think Solar figured that out and then just tried to beat, found the exact timing to beat Zest with, or no, I don't think he beat Zest with timing.
Yeah.
But he beat Zest with some strategy. And so now in this week, Zest, he's saying, all right, I'm going to make it look like I'm turtling up with Sky Toss. But in actuality, I'm hitting a timing. I am going Mass Gateway Zealot Archon and managing to hit this +1 while my Zerg opponent is being as greedy as they think they can get away with.
Yeah, I love it. I love the feints that we just saw there from Zest. Like he looked like he was going in one direction when really it was the other that he was looking to go for. So yeah, that was really well done. Again, like I feel bad for Armani because he was like making a lot of assumptions off of like incomplete information.
You can really empathize with that as a Zerg player, can't you?
Yeah, and he's like, all right, this is what he's doing. Yeah, and especially when your opponent opens up with Void Rays, right? Their main goal to begin with is to deal with those overlords, and we'll see if it's a tale to tell for the rest of this series. As this time there is no Stargate.
No, there's not. Well, not yet, anyway. Opening things off with a Twilight Council, getting a little bit of flashbacks from Zest around this time last year. There's that Robo Bay being thrown down. And will it be like Charge or Charge Glaives
I hope we see some glaives coming out from Zest. You know, it's something that he was known for quite a bit in 2020, but we shall see. Of course, the robo is within vision of the Overlord.
And there it is. Glaives is currently being researched by Zest. We'll see how committed he decides to be with this. Only 2 gateways are up right now for him.
Yeah,
of course, you can go very committed with this with 6 gates, or just work on a more transition focused build with only 4 gates.
Exactly. Like, there are different forms of commitment when it comes to glaive adepts, and there are different follow-ups, right? Like, we have the more standard thing is to follow up with sentries and immortals. You know, the Pez thing to do is to go into disruptors instead. Yeah, you got options as the Protoss.
That you do, and one of those options, Light, is to go for 6 gates.
Oh boy.
As glaives.
Yeah, we can count. This is going to be a 6 gateway adept push, which is pretty committed, a lot more so than we usually see. So, oh boy, we'll see if Armani is able to muster a defense in time.
And we'll have to look out for it. Now, Armani does have an inkling of what's coming for him. He did see the Warp Prism and did see a couple of adepts. Rotron now on the way, and a ton of Zerglings are being made.
Yeah, exactly.
Zerglings are not quite ideal.
Yeah, we even have a spine at the 3rd base as well, and that's going to help so much. Zest has to be careful with this Warp Prism, has to make sure he avoids the queens.
When he has, for the most part, Glaives has finished up, and look at him chew through the Zerglings. Zest even being a little fancy here, microing a couple of injured adepts.
Wow, yeah, he finds a place here. There's no creep, so the queens can't get on top of the Warp Prism.
They're kind of stuck here, kind of body blocked. Queens in front, blocking the queens in the back. Meanwhile, the adepts just shade on forward, mowing down this spine crawler. And the roaches, Light, they are looking so isolated.
Exactly. Only a couple are coming out at a time, so it's ideal for the adepts to get on top of them. Meanwhile, the queens were waiting in the main base, and they were juked. The warp-in was at the 3rd.
Zest, he bamboozled in game 1, and now he's juking and jiving in game number 2. He has Armani's brain on lockdown.
Exactly. The 3rd goes down.
I was researching there. Oh, was it a queen being produced?
I think it was a queen being produced, as it does. Well,
even an additional queen, that can really be life and death. And I gotta tell you, like, losing that 3rd base, that is worst case scenario for the Zerg player.
Yeah, exactly. As the adepts, like, they could even attempt to, like, commit to this shade and just get on top of the Ravagers. He has to be so careful. Again, the queens, they've been out of the fight for so long. They've just been waiting in the main.
Ortron does go down, and Armani, he is rebuilding it, but there will be a window of opportunity here for Armani to really pounce on top of his force. There aren't that many Roaches or Ravagers, to be honest, like.
Yeah.
Not when compared to this many Adepts.
He
finishes shade. He does!
The Biles.
But I gotta tell you, like, the Biles, they do land on a couple of these Adepts, but for the most part, the Adepts do survive. These Zerglings, they cannot get the surrounds that you want to get with Zerglings. But the Biles do connect. Zest, he's lost a ton of Adepts. 31 in total.
Yeah, you could argue that maybe it was a mistake to commit to that shade, because in the end, Zest did get cleaned up. But we're in this really weird position, right? Like, Armani, he's still trying to get his 3rd base up. Zest, there is no follow-up, but you could maybe argue that he dealt enough damage where, like, it's kind of okay.
I would say he's dealt enough damage, considering he does have that natural base up and running, but he does need to work on how he's going to transition out of this. I got so worried there for a sec. No shield and battery in sight for that Stalker, but Zest, he is quick enough to fill in that hole. His tech structures are very vulnerable, though.
Oh yeah, incredibly so. Like, he is forced to warp in a little bit at home, deal with those that Ling run by. Meanwhile, the scary thing is that Zest, like, there is still no follow up, right? There's no extra tech being thrown down. There are no immortals. He's committing to just pure adept.
Well, to be fair, Armani is also being forced to make Roach Ravager with this, which is actually effective against adept. So yeah, Zest, he really does need that follow-up coming up pretty soon. Maybe his plan is to just make Armani max out in roaches and then transition.
We'll see.
That's a terrible plan, but...
yeah. We'll see how stubborn Zest is going to be, right? Because he's still here. Okay, there it is. Finally, the first Immortal is in production.
Yeah, rallied all the way across the map as well. Zest does not want to give up any of this pressure And he's
No.
applying the Lynx get in light! And they are mowing through that mineral line. GG is called! Armani tying up that series sideways 1-1. I saw those adepts warp in right towards the end. And I saw the fear in Zest's eyes. He knew that that wasn't going to be enough.
Exactly. GG gets called. Zest, he was doing so well with those adepts, but again, when he committed there in between the natural and the main base, when he got surrounded and bile after bile were landing on his clumped up adepts, like that was his one mistake.
I almost feel like Zest was handed that game on a platter. Like,
yeah,
he took out the third base. That is nightmare scenario for Zerg. But he got a little greedy. He wanted to end that game then and there. Committed that shade, as you said, and he thought he was body blocking the Zerglings, but really, he was body blocked himself. Those biles, they landed.
Yeah, like, it's so tempting, right? Because, like, he killed the third, he killed the Roach Warren as well, so there were no more roaches being produced, it was just Lings. So, like, you could tell that, like, Zest was, like, feeling it. He's like, yo, I can end the game here and now. When really, another route that he could have gone for is to just contain his opponent and expand, right? Like, and get a faster third and continue on from there, ahead.
He felt that bloodlust. It was like a shark.
Not quite though, you know, it was to his downfall where Zest, he committed, he got cleaned up, and really well done by Armani. He was able to hold on despite how, like, terrible it was looking for him, despite how everything was on fire around him. He was able to stand strong and clinch out that win.
He did. And now we're on even Stevens. What is the ace match but not the ace match? You know what I mean, Light? What is the match when both of the players, right? So below that, let's say if it's a best of 7, right? If both players are 3-3, you get into the ace match. If both players are 2-2, that's a king match, right? And then if they're 1-1, that's a queen match. So right now it's a best of 5, so we're in the king match.
I don't. Is that how it works? Is that actually how it works?
If it's a best of 9, if it's a best of 9, if both of them are on 4-4, then it goes into the ace match. If they're on 3-3, the king match. 2-2 the queen match, 1-1 the jack match.
Right? I don't think that's.
You feeling me?
No.
You feeling me?
No,
yeah?
Not feeling you.
Yeah?
God damn it.
And spawning in for the king match, we are now here on Jagannatha LE. We're here in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. The blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He is representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, RY Edge. He is the bamboozler who got bamboozled himself a little. Let's see what he's got in store here for game number 3. He is Zest.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing, oh my god, representing Team Afrika Freaks, going for a gas first. It is Armani. What is happening?
I never thought I'd see the daylight.
What is happening?
Fortress coming out from Zest. And this is looking to be a cannon rush coming out from Zest, but it's Zest. You know he's got to add his own little bit of flair, his own bit of flavor to this.
Well, like, so this is crazy what's happening right now, because Zest went for the Forge first for a cannon rush, but Armani didn't go for a hatch first. He went for a gas pool. So, like, he's still going to be able to get units out. Like, it's kind of strange, like, the way they both opened up.
Absolutely. He can deal with this way, way easier.
Oh, that he can. Oh, did a mistake there. He has to be careful.
Immediately we see a heck of a lot of spine crawls being thrown down, and we'll see if Zest decides to commit to this. He knows how much Armani is investing to defend.
Yeah, exactly. This is really interesting. We'll see what happens from here. We'll see how committed Zest is. Like, after seeing all those spines, like, I mean, he's unwavering. He's still throwing down the cannons.
Well, he does have the gateway here, so maybe trying to get his Zeld out just to tank a couple of shots, you know, He is getting a heck of a lot of cannons. 4 in production. Oh, the cannon finishes up just as the spines finish. And look at this assault coming down light. This is beautiful if you're a Zerg player, isn't it? All of the spines attacking one cannon. This isn't, though.
Exactly.
As one spine already goes down.
One spine goes down, but at the cost of 3 cannons. Meanwhile, it looks like Armani is slowly inching his way forward to deal with this. One of the Zelts already taking quite a number of hits.
Yeah, it cannot tank too many more shots. The probe went down as well. And now it's only a single cannon remaining and a single Zell as well. This is not quite GG. Zest is getting a natural base up, but suffice to say, this isn't exactly what he had in mind when he went Forge first.
I mean, Armani's gonna be able to clean this up. Oh my god, and we have a proxy. We have an and Zest doesn't see it. He has no idea.
I have the biggest smile on my face right now. Like,
he has no idea.
We had the Duckling showdown last Saturday, and I thought that was the peak that we could have gotten about like when it came to crazy games, right? We had Magnaf against Kyojin, but now Armani and Zest, they're showing us that they're not afraid to go wacky either.
He doesn't even need it. Look, the links get across the map, and GG gets called.
GG, I am returning the game. I am admiring that hatchery. What a big brain.
He didn't even need the hatchery. The thing is, like, as a reminder to everyone how this game started, it was a gas first opening. Like, that's why Link Speed was finished so incredibly quickly.
Oh no, not gas hatch, sorry, gas pool. You gotta give Armani props to that. He has a guardian angel somewhere named Juanito that's saying, I think Zest is cannon rushing this game. You should go gas pool. And Armani's saying, really? You think so? Shaknatha, it's a big map. And Juan is saying, trust me.
Oh god, and it worked as Armani's up in this series. Oh god, like his response was beautiful. I say his response, but like his opener just kind of blindly countered his opponent. Yeah.
But even still, it countered.
It did. And now Armani, he is up 2-1. He just needs one more win to close out this series and move on to the grand finals, where he already has his opponent ready and waiting for him.
Oh, that is going to be a Zerg versus...
turn.
If Armani wins, that is. Yeah, I could have phrased that better. I was like trying to make it go right. If Armani makes it through, it's going to be a Zerg versus, and then let you suspense it up. And then I will go into. But if Zest wins, it's going to be a Protoss versus kind of thing. But yes, there is a Terran player waiting on the other side of the bracket in that finals position, that being Cure. And we'll see who his opponent is going to be. Is it going to be the blue Protoss player, spotting here in the bottom left-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE? We be breathing, we be oxidizing, and Zest. I do not know what his breathing is looking like right now. He had a plan. He had a series plan for this semifinals, but now it's kind of fallen apart. We'll see what he has in store. Representing Raise Your Edge Gaming, RI Edge, he is Zest.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, once again going for that gas pool opener, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Afrika Freaks. It is Armani.
Also going pool first this time.
Yeah.
Guess pool.
Yep, gas pool. So once again, he's playing this quite safe. I say safe. This is pretty aggressive. Like the ideal or the point of this opener is to get a very fast link speed to gain that map control. Or maybe Armani is looking to do something else with that gas. I'm interested to see.
You're trying to subliminally implant the idea of a Nidus in his head right now.
I'm like, throw down the roach for him.
That pet lair, you know you want it. You don't need queens.
Oh god! All right, here we go. We do see he is getting link speed, so yeah, it is a pretty normal opening.
Yeah, and you can't really fault Armani for that. He has been getting so much success today with just speed lings. I mean, his game against time really, his games against time really did come down to letting those lings slip in and slip through the depots occasionally, or just getting a really good surround at other times.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and today, I mean, I don't think he's won a game that wasn't off the back of lings.
Exactly. And speaking of lings, mate, I was curious. Armani has not made a single drone. He's still at 16 drones, and that is because he's throwing down a Bailey nest and he's looking to bust his opponents.
He knew Quirky was casting today. He knew. He's in the audience watching.
Oh boy, exactly. He knows what his fans want. And the problem is that Zest has no idea that this is coming. To be fair, Zest knows about the gas first opening. Like, he's aware of at least that much, but it looks like he hasn't adapted in any way, shape, or form. Like, he's still doing his normal opening.
This is gonna be a link flood.
Oh boy, okay.
Which is why he's getting the shield battery.
Yeah, he's getting a shield battery, which would be great if there was a link flood, but mate, Banelings don't even care about shield batteries.
Oh, they have to shade in, and they do see the Banelings starting to maneuver behind this. And all the Banelings have popped. There are no more Banelings around for Armani, but is that gonna matter? There's one Baneling, however. The Lings are streaming in. This is such a good position for this Adept to be in, but it does go down. Shield battery finally finishes up, but it is far too late. Is Armani gonna win here?
It could be. Everything is depowered here at the natural. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of Banelings waddling into that mineral line. 2 more being morphed in, and the Oracle is about to run out of energy.
They're gonna finish! Look, the probes are taking it! And the probes go down! This is GG. Armani takes the series so convincingly.
The GG.
Oh, it actually cut out because it was that hype. We are in the tournament of TvZ today, ladies and gents. We thought Zest was going to save us. We thought we were going to have some Protoss representation, but it was only for a single series. Today, apart from this one semifinals, is going to be nothing but TvZ.
Exactly. My god. GG, well played, Armani. He does take out Zest, not allowing Zest to get into his famed Stargate play. It just didn't happen at all this series.
Armani was mad. Game number 1, he got bamboozled. Zest, he led him on, and then he sucker punched him. Armani said, "All right, no more mercy. The gloves are off. You brought this on yourself, Zest. Feel my wrath."
Feel my wrath as Armani takes him out. And as you said, we didn't get to talk about it, but honestly, I at least was surprised with the result. Like in the lower semifinals, Cure 3-0'd his opponent.
What?
yeah, I was shocked.
It was being Solar. Sorry for cutting you off there, but of course Solar, who was playing very recently in DreamHack Last Chance, he had some very real good results in ESL Open Cup Asia as well, make it to the finals if I'm not mistaken twice in a row. I don't think he made it to the finals last week, but the 2 weeks before then, I believe he was finalist at the very least. Correct me if I'm mistaken here.
Yeah, I honestly I can't quite recall. To be honest, we've had a lot of PvP finals, but yeah, I'm just incredibly impressed with Cure, especially because we were bringing it up earlier. Cure did get 2-0'd by Gogo Joey 2 weeks ago, so like yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have seen that series to see how it went. If it was more macro oriented games, I imagine they were, and yeah, Cure already at least looking strong in that matchup.
Indeed, he does. And now there's another Zerg player, a very different Zerg player. And I'm curious to wonder how Cure is feeling to go up against Armani. Obviously, Armani, he plays very different from Solar, but if you're looking at, the player rankings right now, you gotta imagine that Solar is just a couple of, he's just a couple of positions above Armani when it comes to the Korean Zerg players.
Mhm.
So Cure, he could either be thinking, all right, I took out one of the best Zerg players in the world right now. Now I'm going up against more of a mid-tier Zerg player. Or if he's thinking, all right, I just went up against a very stylistic Zerg player, right? Maybe a Zerg player who I know how they like to play, the ins and outs of them. Now I'm going to someone who's more of a everyman sort of Zerg, someone who has a lot of different ways he likes to approach the game, depending on what his opponent's going.
Yeah, definitely.
Armani's reactive. That's what I'm trying to say.
The thing is that you could also say the same thing about Cure, right? Where I think we would both, or at least I would say that like both Solar and Zest were the favorites in both of their respective semifinals. They're both like they're both some of the best of their respective races. And now we're in a situation where Armani and Cure, they kind of caused some upsets there. They're going to be facing each other. I don't think either one of them expected to face each other. Cure especially, I'm sure he expected Zest to move on forward. So both of these players, they're looking on fire, at least today. And we'll see who comes out on top between the two of them.